Hello everyone, I'm phoenixtremayne, and today we're going to be talking about Archive 81. It's currently on Netflix, and as of the time of this recording, it's been number one on Netflix for the last 2 weeks. And we're going to get into it, but first I'd like you to do the YouTube things. Go on ahead and hit that like button, take your time, some time to subscribe, and go ahead and comment. And, we're going to get into some things. And we're going to begin with letting you know who's in the cast. It's a really good cast, so I'm not going to name everybody, just the majors. Hopefully I don't massacre this name. But Mahmoudou Althi as Dan Turner, Dina Shalabi as Melinda Pendris, and also one of our former faves from How to Get Away with Murder. He played Asher. We're talking about Matt McGorry. He plays Mark. Ariana Neal is, she plays Jess. That's the 14-year-old. Martin Donovan as Virgil Davenport. Character actor. You'll know him as soon as you see him. He's the mysterious investor who wants Dan to put these tapes back together after they were burned in a fire. Evan Jonikeet as Samuel. Once again, hopefully I didn't butcher these names too bad, but he's like one of your number one. I'm not going to give any spoilers right now. So, he plays Samuel. We have Charlie Hudson III as Stephen Turner, who plays Dan's father. So, may not be a lot of names you recognize, but they're really good actors, and they did a very good job in this series. The series Archive 81 is good. It's suspenseful. It's a horror series that is more creepy. It's like a creepy mystery. It's not really horror that's like as in like gore or people getting chopped up or anything like that. So most of the deaths that do happen are off camera or they're quick. The acting is well acted. Everyone is great in the series. The direction and the cinematography is also on point. And the story has good pacing. Each episode shows you just enough to make you want to click on the next episode right away. So people that may not like horror but like mystery, suspense, or thriller should have a good time watching this because it gives you that suspense feel without, Freddy or somebody jumping out at you. It's only 8 episodes and is very binge-worthy. I was excited to see what would happen each episode. And I finished it in 2 days. I watched the first 6 episodes in 1 day. Then I watched the next 2 episodes in 2 days, which completed the series. Most of my friends are just like me. They couldn't binge it in 1 day. There's really not enough time in a day when you have work. So most of us, 2 days it took to binge it. And I've been telling everybody, hey, go on ahead and watch this show, Archive 81. Now comes my gripe. And I have to put, the one I put in the title, Archive 81 don't care about black people. Now, to fully explain, I have to go into spoiler territory. So, the cast is diverse, but there's something in this plot that made me feel like you don't really care about these black characters. You don't care about this one character. And it's all about that one person. And so, once again, I do recommend the series. Just because I have this gripe and it bothered me does not mean it will bother other people. But I feel like it's an elephant in the room, especially if you're a person of color, especially if you're African American, black, whatever you want to call yourself. You probably noticed what I noticed, or if you're conscious, or I'm trying to think of some of the words, pro, you might be a little irritated. So here we go. You got your spoiler warning. And I'm going to get into what really got on my nerves. But it took a really long time for it to get on my nerves. because the story didn't eventually advance to the point where it made me go, WTF. So here we go. Let me see. Now, and I didn't want to give a synopsis of Archive 81 because I feel like, because it's a mystery, you really need to go in blind and just watch it. If you're looking at a review to see if it was good, I'm telling you it's good. So the heart and soul of the quest happening on the show is that Melody is desperately trying to find her mother, and she's putting herself and her best friend at risk to do so. No matter how creepy things tend to get, she will do anything and everything to meet and or save her mother, who left her in a church as a baby with a necklace and just like rolled out. So she was abandoned, and she got a letter. She wants to know why her mother abandoned her, and her mother is supposedly living in this building. Then we have Dan. His mother, father, and sister died in a fire while he was walking his dog. He was only 8 years old, and he knows the exact date and time when this will happen. Once he realized he can talk to Melody 25 years in the past, before the death of his family, because Melody talks to his father on a regular basis. He's a psychiatrist. No one, not once, does he try to save his family. The only person he wants to save is this girl that he barely knows. Supposedly, he was traumatized by losing his mother, father, and sister in a fire at 8 years old. It changed the course of his life. And so now he has this opportunity to save them, and he's not taking it. Instead, he just wants to save her. Instead of making dates to meet up for pineapple Fanta, drinking pineapple Fanta, how about he tells her to warn his father about the fire, tell him the day and time is going to happen. He know what time he walked that dog. You mean to tell me he not going to go ahead and say, look, my family's still alive. You saw me when I was 8. Can you let him know? So that my family don't die the way I'm trying to save you, so that you don't die? How about that? So Dan has made it his mission in life to risk everything to save this girl he barely knows, but does not put any effort into saving his family. This bothered me. This bothered me a lot. Also, there's this girl, Jess, who Melody tries to save, but typically only makes things worse. Rather than calmly talking to this girl's mother, who barely has any screen time, she hollers and screams and rages at the mother like a Karen. If some woman you don't know is hollering and screaming at you about your child, taking your child to a doctor without your permission, and telling you to leave your home without any real proof, realistically, how would you react to this behavior? And then you feel something is wrong with your daughter, so you get a Catholic priest to do an exorcism, which Melody, because she, was left with the Catholic Church and she grew up and the nuns were like not liking her or whatever, or being mean to her, she like barges in like a Karen and stops the exorcism. And then when the evil people, the witches, start taking over and feeding this girl this like alien mold or whatever, you want that stopped too. So it's like, from the mother's point of view, I'm not saying that Melody was wrong for what she was doing. How she did it, that was wrong. But the way she went about it was wrong in the sense that if you're looking at this in a realistic perspective, I know it's horror, but you're looking at this in a real perspective, someone comes at you right now and says, you need to leave your home. It's evil. What are you going to tell them? Like, get away from me before I call the police. So the same way she told the psychiatrist, Dan's father, I've got these tapes. There's this seance. These people are doing weird things. I have them on film chanting, and Why wouldn't she take the tapes to the mother and go, look, are these the people you want involved with your daughter? So my point is, there's ways she could have done it, and then because this had so much to do with mothers, I thought that I'm a writer, so as a writer, you wouldn't have to do too much extra just to give some moments of Jess's mother and what she was dealing with, and then at the end she just disappears. We just have to assume she's dead. But really. So my problem with these scenes are simply that the mother isn't fleshed out, and she's not given a chance to share her point of view of what's happening. In the end, the black characters are really disposable as long as this one woman is saved. So Dan saves her, because we're in spoiler territory now, but now he's trapped in the past. So there are scenes that Charles, I can't remember his name. Charles, not Charles. Is it Charles Dutton? But anyway, his name's Charles. He was on a TV show back in the 90s called The Rock, and he was in several horror movies where there was this trope where black men in horror have a tendency to sacrifice themselves for other people.
Hi there.
It's never black people. And I ain't talking about just white people. It's just like, it could be any race other than black people. You rarely see, from the movies I've seen a lot of movies, that when these black men sacrifice their lives, it ain't never for us. And that's why it's a trope. Because it's something that is just continuously reoccurring that has become a cliche. And that's how I felt about Dan. I mean, he didn't get none of that good. You know what I'm saying? At least not yet. And they never really established, like, him and Melody were more like kids in high school seeing each other for the first time and thinking that the other one was cute. There's no kiss. There's just these googly eyes looking back and forth and a nice smile because you're happy to see the person. This is not a relationship. You know, they're not walking down the aisle anytime soon. And yes, he can be heroic to try and save her, but my big gripe was simply that he wants to save her, but he hasn't done anything to try and save his own family. That's my problem. So, and then I mentioned the mother, Jess's mother, just to show how the black characters aren't really fleshed out. They're plot devices. So whereas Melody is fleshed out, and some of the other characters are fleshed out, not a whole lot of characters are fleshed out in here, but being that this is supposed to be a main character, there should have been more growth. Especially when you have 8 episodes. So yeah, you can let me know in the comment section, I'm sure you will, whether you agree with me or disagree with me, that the idea that this guy can communicate with a woman 25 years in the past while his family is still alive is not going to give her any messages to try and save his own family. He only wants to save her. That annoyed me. So let me know what you think in the comment section, and I will see you in the next. Oh, and I did go on IMDb, and I said, let me just go on ahead and check. None of the directors were black. They had 4 directors, and they had 8 writers. And I went on IMDb, I did a Google search. I could be wrong. Other pictures might have been popped up, but I think I'm right. But there's also no black writers. I'm glad that there's a diverse cast. I'm glad, that, but when none of us are really in a room, especially some of us that are familiar with our culture or love our culture, they're going to pick up on things like this, even if, he had told her to tell his father about the fire, and the father didn't believe her or something like that, or something could have been added in to just assuage my being pissed off. So whereas I thoroughly enjoyed the series, once we started getting towards the end, and I guess around 5 or 6, that's when I started to be like, well, when are you gonna ask about her helping your family? But anyway, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this POV, and I will see you in the next video.
All right.